Hey everybody, welcome to Kavanaugh's Corner. Here on the channel, I review 4K Ultra HD Blu-rays and talk about their picture quality, audio quality, and their special features. So if you're into that kind of content, then I ask you to please consider subscribing to the channel. Now, of course, you may notice that I'm in kind of military type garb. This is actually a shirt I got from Target years ago. I just really like the look of it. But this is because I'm talking about a series today. It's a new box set that just came out recently, and I had to talk about it because it's one of my favorite action movie series like ever. And that is, of course, Rambo, starring Sylvester Stallone. Going from First Blood all the way to Last Blood. This is the new box set from Lionsgate Entertainment, and boy, is this thing chocked to the brim with all kinds of stuff. So today I'm going to be talking about all the films that are included in here, talking about their picture quality, their audio quality, and the special features that are included in this set, because boy, does this thing pack a wallop in terms of special features. So that's all coming up in just a moment. Now, of course, with every review I do here on the channel, two things I always like to mention is, one, of course, that this is my opinion. This box set was actually purchased by me. It's not something that was sent to me. For some reason, Lionsgate doesn't send me a lot of stuff, but in this case, I pre-ordered this off of Amazon the moment it became available, and I got it near the end of the week before this posted. So it took me a little bit to get through everything. I did watch all 5 movies on my LG OLED. It's a C4 77-inch OLED, and I watched these on a Panasonic UB9000 hooked up to a Denon receiver with a 5.1.2 Dolby Atmos surround sound setup. Now, of course, this may be completely different from your setup at home, and that's completely okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I just like to mention my setup so you understand kind of where I'm coming from, and hopefully you'll be more informed because of this. Also, I always like to mention the fact that video is really just my opinion. Yours may vary wildly. I always love to hear what you think in the comments section because, you know, everybody's got a different opinion. All I ask is that you please be kind. We're just talking about movies here. So the Rambo collection here, this is a huge box set. I'm actually going to open this thing up because this actually slides open to see, you see it says John Rambo Complete Collection, which is actually the full name. And then this opens up and you have a really nice quote right there, which is just great. And then the movies actually lift out of this drawer that's included. And then you can see it's a fingerprint magnet. I don't know why they had to make this glossy. So here you can see as you open it up, you have all 6 discs, and all of them are 4K. That's right. Even the special features disc over here is all 4K. Even the menus match when you put these into play, which I really, really love. First 3 films in the trilogy have been completely remastered. So if you have these 4K discs here, I'll show you. If you have these, which I reviewed on the channel years ago, these are a totally new transfer in terms of picture quality. And that really is what interested me the most about this box set. The 4th film, Rambo. That movie has basically nothing new on that disc. It's pretty much the exact same transfer and audio that we had from other releases. Now, for Last Blood, the 5th film in the series, that movie has the extended cut in 4K, which was not available on this disc here. Even though it was a really good-looking disc, it did not include that extended cut. So if that's something you're interested in, this is the way to get it on physical media. You just can't get it any other way. Also, that Last Blood disc has the extended cut with Dolby Atmos sound, which is not available digitally as far as I could find. It was always a 5.1 mix for that extended cut on digital 4K. So if you want all that, you got to get this box set here. So to really prevent this video from being, 6.5 hours long, I'm going to talk about the first 3 films first and then go into 4 and 5. The first three films in the trilogy, First Blood, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, and then Rambo 3, the naming convention of this series has always been a disaster, but the first three films, as I mentioned, have all been remastered in terms of audio and video. And the nice thing is that you have multiple options for audio, but we're going to get into that later. Video-wise, all three films now have Dolby Vision, and that has provided a nice bump in quality in terms of a lot of things with these three films. The first film in particular, black levels are so much better in that version. This new transfer just looked spectacular. I think even skin tones looked a little more accurate. The greens and browns of the forest that Rambo escapes into just look so lifelike, and they just have a beautiful quality to them. Now, this old 4K was no slouch in terms of video, but this you can definitely tell has been done just a little bit better. I noticed no kind of DNR at all in any of these films, which I'm very, very happy about. All five movies have really been lovingly restored here, and even though the fourth and fifth ones really weren't restored, they are beautiful looking in this box set. Beautiful in a kind of gruesome, nasty, explosive way, but they are beautiful. The first film, again, just has such a dark tone to it, not just in the story, but in the visuals. It's a very overcast, rainy, kind of miserable looking movie, honestly. And it's very dark. The whole movie has always been dark. And this old transfer made that darkness a lot more apparent. This new one, it's really well balanced, and that Dolby Vision helps that out in a big way. The opening sequences where Rambo is walking up to one of his old platoon buddies' his family's house, and it's bright and sunny. That looks so gorgeous, and then you can see afterwards as he's walking and the sheriff picks him up, you can see the fact that the clouds are coming in. It's very ominous, but it works. It looks beautiful. And that dark cloud coming in, you can see it has impacted the actual visuals of the film, and it's very noticeable now on this new disc. There's a lot of moments like this. The scenes in the cave with Rambo now look a lot better. They are inky black, and the flames of that fire that he sets as he's cooking the boar that he killed to get something to eat to survive, that has really become this beautiful orangey yellow kind of flame, and it's super bright compared to the pitch black darkness of that cave. So really cool stuff. I mean, I was very impressed by that first film in terms of video quality. And you get into the second one, and the second one is even wilder. Honestly, out of all three of them, I think the second one is actually the one that really surprised me the most. It's way more balanced. Film grain looks beautiful in the original three films, and also the fourth one as well, but it's never really been a problem with that one. But the film grain is very much intact in the first four movies, and in First Blood Part 2, you can really notice it, and it may bother some of you if you're an anti-grain person, so you're probably not going to like the original three films here, especially the first two. But that film grain for the original trilogy just gives such a wonderful depth of field, and it just has this beautiful filmic look, and I'm really glad they kept that intact here on this set. The second film has some unbelievably bright moments versus the first film. The Vietnam setting that he's in, you can see every drop of sweat. Boy, that's a sweaty movie, that second film. You can see all the sweat coming off of Rambo and the different characters. You can see the little marks that the leeches leave on him as they're torturing him in that awful kind of pit of muck as they dip him in. Lots of really incredible detailed moments all throughout that second film. And again, the Dolby Vision just makes everything so sharp and so lifelike. And the colors, again, are just outstanding. The explosions and the flashes of gunfire throughout that second movie are just a knockout, and I loved every minute of it. That second film really floored me. It's a phenomenal transfer for that one. And the third one is pretty much more of the same. There are a few more darker moments, nighttime scenes in that third one that look way better than in previous releases. Much better than that previous 4K. Especially that scene where he's got the glow stick in the cave and he's wiping out all the Russian guys with the bow and arrow. Really, really cool stuff. And that blue glow stick really glows now. Lots of moments of bright explosions, sandy landscapes. It's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, and I really enjoy the kind of like funny one-liners and stuff that come out of nowhere in that movie. So there's some really great moments in that. And again, the Dolby Vision transfer on this just has improved it so much. So that original trilogy, those new transfers, they are just beautiful. I loved every moment of it, and those movies were really like watching them for the first time all over again. I was so impressed with how all of them looked, and the fact that they kept that filmic grain in all of the films. Now, as I mentioned for the fourth film, which is just called Rambo, or John Rambo in the extended cut, that also looked fantastic. Again, that was available on this 4K disc here, and you do get the same audio, same video there, so nothing really crazy to report. And the fifth film, as I mentioned, has the extended cut in Dolby Vision with Dolby Atmos, and that also looked and sounded fantastic. Of course, that's a much newer film. That's only a couple years old. So that movie, again, it's going to look flawless. There was no issues with any kind of picture quality. So what's my rating in terms of video quality for this Rambo box set? I've got to say, this is a 9.5 out of 10. It is just outstanding. There's really no complaints that I have about anything. Each of the new transfers were an awesome uptick from the previous discs, and even the two newer films in the series still looked great. They didn't do anything to really mess them up, and you got every film in here in the best quality possible. It's a home run, absolute home run. Now, in terms of audio quality, this is where we get into some fun stuff here, because every film in the series has Dolby Atmos now. And the original trilogy actually has the Laserdisc audio on the first three films. So you have multiple audio tracks on every one of them. The first film also includes the original 5.1 Dolby mix. The second film includes the theatrical 70mm Dolby audio, which is a 5.1. And then Rambo 3 includes the original 5.1 audio. So you've got a lot to pick from in this set. They really went into the archives here. Now, for this review, I watched all 5 films with the Dolby Atmos in their entirety, because I've heard, past 5.1 mixes. These all had DTS HD master audio mixes, and I should say the original 3 did. And I didn't even notice it at the time when I did the reviews for those, but they actually had issues where volume wasn't quite right. They had some problems with those. And they sounded decent to me, but I guess they were not up to snuff. And I apologize for that way back when I did that review, when I did those reviews originally, because I didn't pick up on that, but I also didn't have a sound system like I do now. So my apologies for that. But this new audio here, every one of them is a just knock your socks off kind of mix. They do have to be turned up just a little bit. I had to put each of these films up, except for Last Blood. I had to turn them all up about 5 points to get them a little louder. So they're a little quiet, but I will say that is usually the sign of something really precise. And these are very, very precise audio mixes. I'm also really glad to report that in the original trilogy, none of the sound effects of gunfire or any kind of like Foley sounds have been replaced, or at least not that I could notice. They kept that original audio and just mixed it and spread it out a little bit. And I have to say, the experience with the first film in Dolby Atmos was actually really surprising. The second film and third film were even wilder because the action gets wilder in those films. The helicopter sequences in the second film and in Rambo 3 are just nuts. And I mean, you can hear helicopters flying overhead, you know, missiles being shot, gunfire, the machine guns, mini guns firing, people just flying everywhere, screaming and explosions. It is just nuts. It's a wake your neighbors kind of audio mix on basically all of these. And I was so thoroughly impressed that they were able to pull that off, especially with the first film. The rustling of trees and branches and stuff all around you as the policemen search for Rambo through the forest. It's really cool. There's rain at certain times that kind of surround you. That happens in the second film as well. It is just an amazing experience. And for audio mixes here, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. I mean, music-wise, Jerry Goldsmith's score in those original films and Brian Tyler's score in the fourth one, they all just sounded outstanding. I was knocked out by this, honestly. It was amazing. I actually watched all of these with my roommate, and it got pretty loud. The bass in some of these scenes are pretty intense. There is, of course, that famous scene at the end of the fourth Rambo movie where Rambo gets on that mounted Browning 50 cal, and the thud of that gun is just insane, and you can really feel it in these sound mixes. So great stuff here in terms of audio mixes. I was floored, and from what I've heard, those other mixes are nothing to sneeze at either. So if you're going for an older school type of mix, you've got plenty of choices here for those original three films. Now, in terms of special features, we got another home run here because, as I mentioned, that sixth disc in here has a slew of special features. I'm calling it the Rambo Special Features Library because that disc actually has special features from every release of each film, going all the way back to the Laserdisc days. It is an incredible achievement. Now, not all of them are in the greatest of quality, but you can tell that they did their best to kind of like upscale some of them. Not all of them are even in widescreen, so just keep that in mind if you watch some of those older special features. Some of them may not look great, but the fact that they're included here is really, really impressive. One of my favorite pieces from this set is actually some of the new special features that are included on here. They even included like 5 or 6 new little featurettes. But my favorite has to be a brand new interview with Ted Kotcheff. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. This is the gentleman who directed the original Rambo film, First Blood. And he talks about his working relationship with Sylvester Stallone, making the movie, some stuff that happened before the film, and it's a nice little interview there. Ted passed away last year, and so that actually may be one of the last filmed interviews that we may ever have of him. So rest in peace, Ted Kotcheff. You were an incredible director, television and film-wise, and it's really cool that they included just so much. I can't even go over all the things that are included here. I'll leave like a little screenshot here so you can just see the sheer amount of stuff that is on this box set. It really blew me away, and that's not even including the commentary tracks that are included. It's just really mind-blowing. This is one of the few times I'm ever going to give a 10 out of 10 for special features on here because they went the distance for this. This was done for the fans, and you can tell, to include so many things from over so many years and some new stuff in here. It knocked me out. Overall, really, this is one of the most incredible box sets that I own in my collection. I have quite a few of them. I got a lot of them. But in terms of a totally comprehensive set that will have basically everything you could ever want from a series in a set, this is it. This is one of them right here. This is a top 5 all-time box set here. I cannot recommend it highly enough. The fact that this was $100 when I pre-ordered it actually is an outstanding deal, and you get a digital copy of all 5 films included as well. So it's amazing. This is absolutely amazing. If you are looking for a reason to upgrade from your old 4Ks here, this is the best way to do it. Trade in those old ones, get this new box set. Nothing I've ever seen compares to this in terms of the Rambo films. This is the ultimate way to watch these films, and I highly, highly recommend it. And I will leave a link down in the description below. There's going to be a little shopping cart thing. There might even be like a QR code or something that pops up here. But however you do it, if you are going to pick this up, if you use that code or that link down there, it really helps me out quite a lot. That's it for today for Kavanaugh's Corner. I want to say thank you so much, especially if you made it all the way to the end here, because this is a little bit of a longer video, but I tried to do my best to kind of get my thoughts kind of all together in one place to give you a video that's not like 3 hours long. So I really, really appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to hit that thumbs up button and that hype button that's somewhere over here, especially if you're watching this when it first comes out. That's a big help to get my videos kind of out there into the YouTube algorithm, whatever that may be. That helps out a lot. And of course, if you really, really want to see more of my stuff here, hit that subscribe button so you can have more of my videos just come to you. You'll just get a little pop-up and boom, there I'll be, my beautiful face. I'm just kidding. No, it's really not that great looking. You'll get it. So if you do that and you ring that little bell icon, you'll know when I post a new video here. So until next time, I wish you guys all the very best. Please stay safe, keep collecting, and take it easy. I also just noticed I really got to shave. My beard's getting crazy, man. Look at that. Ugh. Get that going there.